Hi guys, today we're talking about the American dream and how the American dream is going to, let's say it in German, kaputt. Am I right, Betsy?
Yes.
Yes, about everything. Uh, in this article, there is an American citizen that moved to Germany to get a better life, and her perspective of the difference in Germany and USA. Of course, I'm not from USA, but I'm eating American content like uh, cheeseburger in McDonald's. uh, um, is the American dream dead, Betty? Let's try with you. So you're the closest in America. You live in America, and we are going to
I
discuss
mean,
we're going to discuss, of course, the article and our point of view. Uh, that's it.
so
You're going to see it on your screen.
the article, should we say the name of the article
Yes,
and
yes,
what website it's on?
yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
It's called it's a very long title. I left the US for Europe and now spend only $1,906 a month while raising 3 kids. Here's why I'm never moving back.
But
So
but
it's on CNBC.com. So, but if you obviously Google these keywords, it'll come up.
uh, I want just to say something before we go on the article. It's when you read all the article, you can see it's misleading because she have 3 kids and Germany gives for every child you have around $8,000 a month. So it's an
Wait, 8,000 or 800?
800. I'm sorry, 800. $800 a month for every
I was
child.
about to adopt a bunch of kids and move to Germany. Anyways,
From Africa?
from anywhere in the world.
Okay. Can we have receiving money for kitties and dogs too?
She didn't mention anything about getting any money for pets. We'll have to research that topic.
So I mean, the article is not misleading, but when you have an extra money from the government giving you, just because you have children, uh, you can save more. But the taxes in Germany, in the article said, it's like it takes you from your money is around 35% of your receivings or income.
So it's interesting. Even though they're apparently paying more in taxes than they were here, that's the implication in the article. Somehow they still come out ahead because they're saying, she said at the end that all the extra money they now have, they're splurging on vacations. So they're paying into it, but they're getting a lot back. They don't have to worry about school tuition if they want additional schooling. They don't have to worry about Medicare or medical insurance because that's covered in Germany. That's a potentially big expense, especially if you use it a lot or have chronic issues. And then I also know legal services. She doesn't mention this, but I know legal services in France, so it's probably the same in Germany, but nothing I say is 100%, so I'm assuming that also includes legal services, which is a big deal because in the US the legal system is really mostly for the people who can afford it, the well-off people. So justice for the rich and the poor, well,
So I'm not from USA, but you want to tell me that people in America is paying more taxes and they don't receive anything, any benefit, like the Germans do.
what I want to add to that you already said this. So they're not. So from the article, they're not getting their child care paid for, but they're getting a flat amount for their kids and they can use it for childcare. So again, that's more savings. I don't. I guess here people pay less in taxes overall. I still paid close to 30% because I didn't have a house to write off. I'm not married and I don't have children. Those were three really, as I understand, big write-offs. Oh, and owning a business. So all these things that a person might want to have, now it's like a double slap in the face because you're getting penalized for not having these things that you want, but you, for whatever circumstances, you don't have them. So now you're paying more in taxes. So I was paying about 30% without all these extra benefits that people have access to in Europe. Most of Europe, I should say.
I mean, not. She's in a good country because Germany and France are having better social system.
Yes, they have a bigger safety net. They have more. They provide more social services than we do in the U.S.
Maybe because U.S. Is focusing not their energy in the people living in USA, but focusing on other countries. Like right now is I don't want this show to be political, but you can see they give money to Egypt, Israel, Ukraine. If I am living in USA, I'm going to say why are you giving my money to countries I don't even have the money to go? This is a theft. They are stealing my money because they have a political agenda. This is why people in America maybe they're not happy, and the American dream. I saw a man in America said they're killing the American dream, and this is their not point, but this is the goal to kill the dream. For the people that maybe are living under the rock, what is the American dream in your point of view as an American citizen, Betsy?
Well, I assume the American dream was simply to move here, start a business, be your own boss, your business ideally becomes successful, you'll have freedom and independence over time after putting in putting in the time and energy for your business, and you don't have to worry about working for the man. But for every success story that you see in the media, there's many more that aren't successful, and it's not due to not working hard, or even necessarily not working smart. It's become more about connections and luck and who you know, and there's just there's barriers like the ones we spoke about a little while ago. If a person is struggling paying off their school debt, starting a business where they put more money into a business before it can actually make money isn't always feasible. Same thing with paying your own medical insurance while you are, or for your entire family, while you're trying to start that business. It's hard to do because it's very expensive. And of course, childcare, if you have children, there's services for that, but you have to earn very little, and you still have to pay a good portion of the childcare bills still. So all that adds up. It makes it difficult to pursue that dream. So people are more inclined to continue working for somebody and have that stability because they don't want to put their family at risk by not having medical insurance or enough medical insurance because they bought a plan that was affordable, but they're very expensive. So I think it's more difficult now to pursue the American dream than before. I would say before the 80s maybe, because beginning of 80s is when medicine was privatized. And so it's definitely harder.
Maybe it's going to be a good idea to discuss her breakdown of her monthly budget or expenses. You can see the article, right?
I can.
Yeah. 3 bedrooms, 2 bedroom apartment rent, including utilities, $2,000.55. Do I say it right?
$2,052
Yes,
for
yes.
3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and includes utilities.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think you said that.
Yes. What is? Let's have your opinion of every point because you have the experience and your point of view of living there. Is this amount high or low for a month?
So I know somebody up the road here who lives in a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment, a small apartment. I don't know how big their apartment is, but I'm going to guess that it's bigger, not just because they have a 3rd bedroom, but just because it's bigger in general. So they're paying $2,500 for one less bedroom than these people, and that doesn't include utilities. And with most apartments and condos, everything's electric. It's harder to find places with gas or oil. So heating, or gas stove, oil stove. So there's an additional almost $500 just in utilities. So close to $3,000 for what they're paying $2,000 for, plus one less bedroom, which is a big deal because that bedroom is you can house another family member or rent it out for extra money. They don't have that bedroom. So.
And don't forget, they are a family with 3 children. I mean, it's so much less when you are 2 parents working. And even though they're receiving extra money for the children, and they can pay with the extra money their house. I mean their apartment for the month. Full-time daycare, $98.75. I don't know how. Maybe in different parts in USA, you're going to pay different for the different childcare. We don't have children.
Yeah, I don't, but I know what people pay because of
You have friends with kids.
my line of work was so $100 for 2 kids is kind of funny. I mean, it's great. I'm really glad that that's what it is, but it's funny in the sense that it's
sad. It's funny that it's so low that in USA probably is so high payment.
Definitely. It is many times more that.
10 times more?
Oh, I said many times more, but I'm gonna say, like you said, it depends where you live.
And the service you
but
pay.
And what was that? I'm sorry.
It's probably going to be different if their service is more expensive like Montessori style of daycare.
Do they have Montessori daycares? I didn't know that. I know they have
I mean,
schools, but
there is a daycare with Montessori Montessori uh, uh, style for sure in my country. I saw it, but it's more expensive. Even in my country, it's more expensive. Uh,
mhm.
Public, no, not public. Groceries, 400. Uh, i- what's your in? What is your expenses in your groceries, Betsy?
um. Well, first I want to mention that the childcare here, depending on what part of the country you live in, also what part of town you live in, and the age of your child are all factors. But you're gonna be paying at least $800, possibly, uh, you know, $1,300 per child, depending. Um, I mean, I've even actually heard of closer to almost 2,000, but I think that's probably really specified, very specific kind of place that maybe is private or something. But, anyways,
Probably private.
you asked me about groceries.
Yes,
See, this one's tough
because
because
everything
different.
is the price are getting higher and higher, and we don't have the right price. Or
Well,
price
yes,
expensive.
inflation
Yes,
is a
it's
is
a big. It's a big.
yeah, it's a big deal. It also depends on if you cook more of your food or you're buying prepared food. So that's going to have a big effect on your groceries and how many people you're shopping for. So there's being 400 for 5 people.
3 people.
That's very little. That's
3 people.
even if you're
Not 5.
3 people.
Oh, 5 people. Oh, you're right. I was thinking about the children. Yes, yes, yes. 5 people.
You're thinking 2 children don't get fed.
One of
Yeah.
the children is still a baby, so
Mm,
the
that
mama is producing the food.
yes, which is why she needs to eat healthy and well and be well nourished to uh, to keep baby healthy. So yeah, $400. I mean, even if you're cooking every meal from scratch for 5 people, $400. No, no, no. I mean, it's gonna be. It's hard to say, but it will over $1,000 easy. Is my guess, and that's if you're cooking everything, and that's assuming you're shopping at less expensive grocery stores, not like the fancier grocery stores.
Public transportation. It's
Wait, did
very
you say?
hmm?
Could you say that word again
pu-
before transportation?
public.
Yes, but I thought you said something else.
Okay, public transportation. uh,
Everybody rewind to hear how he pronounces public. Please rewind for a second. Anyway,
okay. Um,
public,
it's not public. Okay.
public.
It's a very different point of view because when I was visiting USA, if I'm walking on the street, I was looked like I was an alien because everything was on 4 wheels. But in Europe, it's a different story. Um, I can go from point A to point B walking, but in USA it's impossible to do the same thing. If you don't have a car, it's like you don't have legs. So this is very interesting. The public transportation is for a month. It's cheap, I think. I don't have the comparison in USA what is the public transportation because like 95% of the Americans are driving cars.
Well, in Bulgaria, how
I,
much was it?
I
$25 a month, right?
uh, give or take.
That's what it was last year. I don't know what it is now, but
I mean, the infrastructure in Sofia is pretty well done. Everything, you have subway, you have bus, everything is pretty close. So yeah, okay, let's go.
so $107. I think that's about going to be similar to what it would be here and Bulgaria for 5 people. I guess.
Oh yeah, you're right. For 5 people.
Well, are the kids free? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean,
If they're not free, then I would say it's.
I'm betting 2 of the children their transportation is going to be free, because one of the children is 2 years old and the other child is just a baby. To maybe the children have to be 6 or 7 years old, even older maybe, to pay for your ticket. So they are paying just for 3 people. But I can't imagine going with 3 children on a subway, on a bus. It's going to be a hassle. It's not very pleasant when you are put in a subway, squashed like sardines, fighting for air, and pretty much you're going to have a free massage every time you go in the subway. Okay, so the next is cell phone plan. I mean,
That's for 2 people, right? For the 2 adults, $37.
maybe
That's very low.
one of the
That's-
one of the children was 13 years old.
Oh.
He's probably having a cell phone. I'm pretty sure.
So that's $13 a person. That's per month. That's definitely much less expensive than here. Here, I think the cheapest plan is twice that, maybe $25 a month. And before taxes, with taxes it's probably $30. And it's a decent plan, but it's not going to give you unlimited data, but it'll give you enough probably if you're on Wi-Fi a lot. Regardless, I don't know what exactly their plan is, but it definitely appears to be less expensive than our average plan, for sure. By I don't know, 2/3 less expensive.
Okay.
Internet.
Internet, $32.91.
Yeah, that's about half of what most people pay on average.
In America. So, total. Can you pronounce the total for me?
I can. $2,728.98.
For 5 people, and let's say you have to put the expenses for 5 people in America. Can you put? Let's imagine there is a number next to their number. What's going to be?
Oh, I would have had to do that in advance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I would add on. I mean, I would just. I'm gonna guess 4,000, maybe 4,000. No, wait.
No, it's with
More.
the house and the expenses. I think like 6,000 in my.
Yeah, because the housing plus the utilities, the childcare is really gonna, and the groceries. Yeah, I'd have to sit down and figure it out, and I didn't prepare.
In the article, down there, she's saying she spent 500 for health insurance and medical bills, 500 on groceries, 600 on car expenses, and about 250 a daycare for one child.
So if it's $822 per child for daycare, that's over $2,400 just for the children, and your total expenses are $2,700. So you only have to come up with a few $100s per month to.
But before we started the recording, you said that this daycare is very cheap,
Hmm.
and you said to me it's much higher than this number.
Yes, for one child you're going to be paying. I mean, it depends if it's a licensed daycare provider or not licensed. But even with a not licensed, you're going to pay close to maybe $800 a month, maybe 600. I think this would be hard to find for full time. I think 800 is probably more common. And then if you want them to be licensed, it'll probably cost you over
Mm.
thousand and a thousand plus. So
So,
even though Germany is not an inexpensive country, as neither is most of Western Europe, bottom line is
but when you
you're.
see the immigrants going from one country to another country, uh, all of them are focusing on Germany, France, and maybe the Scandinavian countries, but the weather there is not very pleasant for the most of the people. So they're focusing to go in Germany, but let's imagine so many people are going there. It's not going to be pleasant every second. I mean, let's talk about something different. This is my observation. When I see American people are going to different countries, living there for life, I see that they don't have a connection to their own country. I mean, American people are very flexible. When if I am going in a different country and I have to stay more than let's say 3 or 4 6 months, years, I'm going to get homesick. But the American people, they're not getting homesick. They're just like, oh, this is my new home. Uh, let's forget about USA.
I mean, I mean, obviously that's not everybody, but you're saying overall more people than not
When
don't.
when I see American people in my country or people on the internet, they don't miss their original country. I mean,
Hmm.
this just an observation.
Why
This
do you think that is?
because the their genes, their heritage is not from there. I mean,
Hmm.
let's get real. The real Americans are the Indians there. Every person there is from other country. I don't care you were born there. Your genes are not original from there. Then that's why you don't feel the same thing. Uh, I can see that the
You
children.
mean loyalty to your country?
I mean, they try to brainwash children in the past to get well to the flag, um, to feel that they're patriots. I can see that. This is very nice for to feel that this is your country, not any country. You have to be proud American. But when I was in USA, uh, it was funny to me that a lot of the girls I was working with, they were mm, complaining and crying that all people around the world hate America. It's not like we hate American people; we hate the politics of America. Because America is trying to be the police of the world.
I mean, I would agree with you that the people that are most loyal to the U.S. are very unlikely to move out of the U.S. If they have to, they will move to another state that is maybe offers a lower cost of living. But the most loyal people to this country are just not going to move to another country and live there. They're very loyal no matter what, and they're not necessarily as concerned about the issues posed in this article that this woman wrote about, because it's just America first. So none of this stuff would be important enough. Like I said, they would move to another state to survive if they have to, but to move to another country, they're just people that it's not in them to do so. They have it in their mind that the U.S. is the greatest country in the world, and and that's their prerogative if that's how they feel. But I'm sure many countries feel that many people feel like their country is great as well. So, but bottom line of this article, to sum it up,
there is no American dream.
Well, she had to go to Germany to find her American dream, and that tells you something. Because this is a professor, a professor and an engineer. These are professionals, very highly educated, and they can't find their American dream here. That tells you something, and it's not just them.
It's not like hard work is beating or intelligence. Oh, you have a degree, you're a smart person, you have to make a lot of money, buy a house, get a business going, but the average person is not having a very nice life. It's she was struggling in America with only one child, but in the article I can see the father of the first child, so she was probably a single mom, and that's why she was struggling so much. One of the
but even when she got married to another professional, the struggle's still there. So I think we need to follow up on this podcast.
Podcast show.
Yeah, I think we need to do a second podcast that's going to be really related to this one, and where we discuss why it's like this and how it got to be this way.
Okay.
And we would like to hear
your opinions.
Other people.
Yes.
Yes, please. Are you someone who's moved out of the U.S. And for these similar reasons or other reasons? Are you in the U.S. and considering moving, or are you someone who would never move under any circumstances? And what is your reasoning? I mean, obviously, to get up and move is a big deal. It costs money. There's a lot of unknowns. It's kind of scary. But clearly, some people are motivated to do so because things aren't as they should be. And again, in our next podcast, I would really like to discuss how we got to this point and why.
Okay. This is going to be part 1 of two-part show. And of course, we're going to discuss other stories and interesting things on the internet and the world. Stay tuned.
Thank you for listening.
Subscribe and comment down below. Thank you.